Hello, how are you guys doing today? Well, we're doing something a little different. So, um, so, to be clear, I've already seen all of these character demos. There is not going to be anything, well, I won't say anything surprising, but this is not my first time watching them, is the point. Um, but I figured something I have not done that I was interested in doing. I'm like, what can I do that would be fun? It would be ranking them. Now, it's not going to be your traditional, oh, here's the best versus the worst. What I'm going to do is use these handy dandy tier lists, and I'm going to be ranking one by one uh visuals, audio, and story. So, how I'm going to be doing that is visuals I'm going to define as interesting edits, composition, right? If I notice like some filming tricks or whatever, um, and custom animation. So not just like regular in-game stuff, walking around, combat moves, but like no, they are using the model and they're doing entirely unique new stuff. Audio. So this similarly can be edits, it can be music, it can be sound effects thrown in, right? There's a bunch of different stuff this can cover, but generally, like, how did it impact you? Was it like oh, this is super good and unique, or was it like, that's okay, it was all right, right? And then lastly, story. So that's going to be how much, does it have its own tied in um story arc, right? Does it tell a complete story on its own? Does it have bigger world or lore implications? Does it really tell you more about the character, leave you intrigued? Or is it just, okay, this character exists? um, this is how I'm kind of defining it, and I'll place them around. Now, let's get into it with the very first one, Kaya. And I will be splitting these up because I think I'll be doing roughly half an hour of demos, um, which I'm like, I'll chat about those for probably the same length of time for each one. So these will be around 1 hour long videos, but I hope you guys enjoy. Um, and I will have to, I'll change the thumbnail once this is up. I'll make it something a little bit more than just Kaya sitting there. But I want to make sure people know, like, oh, what am I starting with each time I do one of these. But without further ado, let's get into it. Cryo Chapter Cavalry Captain Kaya. The very first demo.
I'm Kaya.
Good art. You get a little bit of info on him there.
My eye patch. Want to hear my story, eh?
Running around the world.
Kaya, yapping in your ear.
Sorry. There you go. Should have done that before. Some combat with the damage numbers. I feel like I should give them points just for having the damage numbers. A little bit of UI, telling you the order to use abilities in. Lisa's ult, Barbara's E, Kaya's ult. Take out a Rune Grader. So, I think that one's pretty obvious where we put everything. Kaya, I'm sorry you were shafted by being the very first character demo in the game, or publicly released. Yeah, it just, there's so little to it. It truly is just like they put something out there and that's it. Uh, like I can't give it anything. Like there's no real story. He's just like, pirates, adventure, and then you get the little like detail blurb about he's a cavalry captain in the Knight of Favonius and that stuff. Obviously, we know there's a lot more about Kaya in game, but for the demo, it doesn't show you any of that, and it doesn't really leave you feeling intrigued. The music, it's just a default Genshin track, right? It's not incredibly unique or edited. And same with the visuals. It's like, you have them popping in, but as we'll see with everything else, they go much further in the future. Oh wait. We're gonna, why would Wanderer be next? What? Okay, I'll have to do this then. Go down there. Click.
最近的蒙德，深邃的邪
Yep.
恶，
Chinese,
在
we
表
got
面之
official.
下疯狂涌动。
Danger.
看来又要动用我的眷属漆黑夜鸦，来观测迷雾之后的真相。
不错，跑腿的正是赛夏。小姐自己是不会动的。
Uh,
测，锁定
see, I think this is the first test of even what 5 stars
夜净土之谜
should have for their layout. Because it's like you get custom animations, you get the music, right? And one of just the most, I would say one of the most memorable tracks in the game, as far as like a character thing.
冥冥之敌，
Just like, instantly recognizable.
断罪之眼已经预见了
It's just like, oh yeah, this is officials. The guitars and everything. Dizzy
为
Amber,
何来此？
the Roman Baron Bunny,
断罪。先别说这些，我已经连
using their abilities together.
凡人也想借用昭告命运的圣才之雷吗？
See, official, we have something to talk about.
小姐，冒险家协会的工资。
See, we even have this little ending blurb, which is like telling us a little bit about her and sort of give the entry of like, mein Fräulein. And yes. Yeah, I mean, just the opening, you get this, again, you get custom animations, you get this amazing entrance by Fischl, jumping down, right, transforming from Oz. Right, you even got effects going on. Got the landing, the pose. Just like, oh yeah. See, look at that. Then the finish here. Yeah. Flying off as Oz again. Just how we flew in as Oz. Like I said, the music and everything. It's just, it's such a step up from Kaya. I'm sorry, buddy. I think Fischl, across the board, is a solid B, except for story. I think visually, they have a lot more custom stuff. They have edits in there. They got some very nice timing. You got the idols with her doing the laugh and everything. Then audio, like I was saying, you got the music. The music just carries that so hard. It's just like, it's one of the first like really memorable tracks, I would say, in these early demos. And then story, it is better than Kaya's, but it doesn't tell you a whole bunch. So it's like, okay, you do get something though. You're better than Kaya official. On to the next then. Zhongling. Which might have to see about Zhongling.
My name is
think
Shelly. I'm a chef from
I'm
the US.
remembering hers being on a similar level to Kaya.
We could go foraging for ingredients. I'm much better at cooking than navigating, but if you do go out, definitely take me with you.
Yeah, so we get the idea. She's a chef.
It's time
The
to
abilities,
introduce you to
global
my
lighted
latest
up the fire.
apparatus. I call it the most marvelous, multicolored super.
We see new area.
Lola, get them.
Yep. We're working with Kaya and Lisa. And thus was the most powerful pyro character born.
Is there time for a quick snack? I'll whip one up in no time.
Realistically, it's very similar to Kaya's, right? Like, you could argue maybe there's a tiny bit more, but
Take me with you. Nice and spicy. It's time to introduce you to my.
debating. I think Zhongling. Visuals, same level as Kaya. Audio, I want to go a little bit higher than Kaya. And then story, I think, same level. There's just some of these early ones, there's just not much to them, unfortunately. hey, maybe we'll get a 5-star Kaya in the future. And with that, he'll be done justice. Same with Zhongling, I would say. Official did. She was done well. You can tell they had some favorites early on. Okay, Chi-Chi. Our first 5-star demo. The rest were 4 stars. Yeah, Boo Boo Pharmacy.
I am Chi-Chi.
I'm a zombie.
I am a zombie, and I forgot what comes next. I want to build a snowman. Will you help? The wind is frigid. I like it. Hold my hand, please. This wind could blow me away. Wheel of life. Life goes on.
It's funny that Chi-Chi, they're kind of like, nope, no other team. Chi-Chi by herself.
I should have stayed indoors today.
And that's crazy because that's your first 5-star demo now. Granted, not first limited 5-star demo, but still. There are a few more cuts and like pans that I like there. So visually, I'll say see. For example, the pan to Chi-Chi here from the counter. I think that's very funny. Yeah. And as well at the end here, tossing the sword up into the air. Yeah. It's like I do think there's a little bit more there. Audio. I'll put same level as Zhongling. I'll show that. And then story again. It's like, okay, we get a tiny little bit, right? Like, okay, you're a zombie. Want to stay indoors? What's going on? Just again, it's just not much. Unfortunately, that's kind of what I have to say for a lot of these earlier ones. But again, they get good pretty quickly after we get through the first few. Hello, Mona.
I am astrologist Mona.
Again, Mona,
Magistus.
she's great. Great design, great character.
Astrologist Mona. The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself.
At least you have a little bit here with like her being like, I'm so broke. But yeah, totally, you have to get rid of material desires. So there's a little bit there.
Delve into destiny. Fate is upon you. Let me scribe. This was ordained by fate.
Second 5-star
Long have I
and
foreseen.
sorry, Mona. Very, very similar feelings again. Where it's just like there's just not much happening. I think I have to put her down there. There's just not even like I'll pan through some of this stuff again. Like you have a fun idol there, some passage of time in Mondstadt there. Okay, you do get a few shots, and you get a cool view of the domain. Okay. Let's put Mona there for visuals. For audio.
Equipment repair bill is due, and to rid themselves of material. Shadows of fate.
Yeah. I just like I can recognize it just because of the sheer amount of times I've watched Mona's demo, but it's not something that strikes me immediately. And then last we have story. I'm going to say there was at least a tiny bit there with like it would have to be like very bottom of C. Because there was a tiny bit there of like, oh, repair bill. I must rid myself of desires. I'm totally not broke. It's like, okay, there's a tiny bit there. I'll give her credit. But we're coming up on some good stuff. Next we have coaching.
I am Kuching, Yuhun of the Liyue Qixing.
Mhm.
Come on, enough procrastinating. Let's go. Time is against us. We live in an era of change, as the old order that has existed for 1,000 years is about to be rewritten. Join me. Let us bear witness to this historical moment together.
Ah, that is cool. Oh, there's a little something
Speed
there.
of light. Don't blink. Hey! With sword comes shadow. When your heart is set on something, you get closer to your goal with each passing day.
What would I give that?
I am Kuching, Yuhun of the Liyue Qixing. Come on, enough
I would say again, okay, visuals. The only thing there that was immediately like, oh yeah, this little moment here, yeah, that's cool. See, this little moment, that's neat. I like that, but it's like, okay, that's. I'll put. Yeah, let's do that for visuals. For audio, I just. Yeah, there's just. There's just not much going on, like I'm saying with these very early ones. I would also say that as well. Like, yeah, there's a little bit about her being the Yuhong and like, oh, times are changing, but and the old order being done away with. But it's just like, yeah. But we are getting to it now. Technically, Venti's was released later, but we're going by the playlist order. So Venti's up next, even though I think it was like early. Like it was early the next year that Venti's was actually released. Right? Yeah, they won't show it there.
語り継がれし古い物語。 詩人は歌い出す。神々がまだ属性にいた時代。はるか昔の物語である。おや、一日中世話しない不自由な労働者が銀融詩人の楽しみを邪魔する機会？
One of the many bards, of course. Nothing more than a traveling bard. Yeah, that's cool. It's fun. Yeah, I'm cutting even further in, like a letterboxing.
好天の風を呼んでしまうからね。
Just enjoying jamming out to music. Yeah, showing off just how crazy that was early game. And then they went, well, we're gonna make so many, like 90% of our enemies. Ooh, and the reverb as well with music. Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, let's make all our enemies heavy so they can't be picked up. They can still be slightly pulled but not picked up. I think Venti, first A of the day, there's so much more in there. Just even this intro, right? It's very similar to the official one where it's like, oh, this is immediately different. Right? You have him chatting away. And it's like, yeah. Perfectly into the splash art. Cutting around that. Yeah, these sections as well. And then even as the trailer goes on, yeah, it starts getting letterboxed and then it goes even further. And it's like, oh, that's so much fun playing with the aspect ratio. And the edits in here. Yeah. Like when the text pops up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to say a first day for visuals. Would I say that for music as well? Hmm. Do I give the Bard an A? I think so. Or yeah, music, visuals, and then story. Story? B. B or C. Like there's a little bit in there. Honestly, let's say C just above official. There we go. I feel like the visuals were an obvious big upgrade from everyone else, as well as the music. And again, not that the other music is bad. It's just like, oh, it's generic Genshin music. Whereas Venti's is like, ooh, those strings. Ooh, okay. Right. And then yeah, story there just isn't as much with what they tell you. It's like, oh, he's a bard. Oh, a little bit about the divine. Like there's a little bit of teasing in there, but it's not so much that you're like, You know, you're not like, wow, I love this character right away. It's like, okay, maybe something's going on. But now we have a very fun character. Oh man, the energy is so much fun here. And starting in Letterbox as well. Boom.
Are you here for playtime with Clee?
Hello, Clee.
Okay, so you'll be in charge of the store.
Like
now.
maybe we'll finally meet
Which means you
Alice
won't
soon.
leave a single CG
You know, we're
coming.
at least chatting with Alice next patch. Me too. 5.6. Yeah.
Dumpty. This is my special totally not for fish blasting extra exploding formula.
Oh, hello,
Clee,
Bean.
you know the consequences.
Aw, man. I love how good the track is for this demo as well. It just syncs up so good. Like you get downtime when she's put in timeout, solitary confinement, and then picks right back up. I love there's just characters fighting in the background as well. To add the extra effects to the explosions, you got swirls, you got overloads. Little gremlin.
Let's go fish blasting together.
Okay. I mean, yeah, just the intro as well. Again, it's similar to the Ventis. It's like it just tells you you gain something different immediately right off the bat. And lubrical and like tied to all the characters. Oh man. I say above Venti A. Just because I know what's coming with the S. With the S ranks. So I'm like, oh man. But very, very good. Just so much fun. Music. Or actually, yes, music. Sorry, I'm making sure I remember my old dear list. Visuals, music, and story. Yeah, just Clee's theme is so much fun. Do 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 do. Yeah, it's just instantly memorable. And then story, I would say B. We get some extra stuff at the beginning that if you read into it, you're like, wait, what's going on? All this crazy stuff going on? Like, Diluc, strongest fighter, Torch of Judgment. See, it's like, no, well, see, it's like you just immediately build intrigue and you're like, oh, talking about other things in the world. And then, of course, you get Jean showing up, which is great. Solitary confinement. It's like its own little self-contained story of like, he goes out, gets in trouble, put in solitary confinement, gets out again, and wreaks havoc. Look at that face. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, next up, Diona. And I've got my cat over
Bartender
here.
at the cat's
One
tail.
of the cats,
I charge a hefty
the
fee
other's
for
out,
private events.
laying
Here's
on
a
his
carry,
chair.
no prop, the real proof of my cat's line bloodline. Life as a mixologist is very busy. When I'm not at the tavern, I'm out collecting ingredients for new recipes. So unless something is urgent, don't bother me. On the rocks.
Diona's a bit more, Diona, sorry.
Think you can bully me?
Her track's a bit more of a remix, but
Look at
dun,
you, Booyah.
dun. Yeah.
Waiting for you. I just happened to be resting.
Yeah, and then we go back to 4 stars, which unfortunately will just always be rated a little bit lower, even at the best of times. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some fun angles and perspectives they play with, like transitioning. Visuals. I'm going to say either low B or high C. Because there is a little bit extra in there. I'm going to say low B. Like, Official's still, I would say a high B right now, and then Diona's low B. Soundtrack, I'm feeling something a little similar here, or it's like a low B or a high C. Just in that range. It's like, it's okay. It's alright. You know. I think let's go that as well. And then for story, I think just also just somewhere in here. Just like, oh, okay, hello Diona. Yeah, just within D. No particular ranking. Yeah, Diona, great as a character. She has some really fun character hangout moments, but fortunately, demos do not do the 4 stars justice most
Dear
of the
sister,
time. Our
I've been
favorite
away for so
child.
long, I've almost forgotten the cold of our home. You know I grow restless when life is ordinary and boring.
Gotta get that
Though in Leyland,
normal chest.
fuses of excitement can be found everywhere, just waiting for the right spark.
That is such a cool moment.
Come at me! Not much of an adversary, but enough for a side
I remember
show,
it just being
guess.
so cool. This reveal here.
Time
Yeah.
to end this. Now's our chance. That's so.
And then they acquired him back.
If you were smart, you wouldn't charge into unknown danger.
Yeah, just the form change, the stance change. It's just, oh man.
Still won't hold
Something
back.
I wish they would still dive
Your
into
brother
more
has
in
just been
Genshin.
taking
But,
care of some trivial matters here, really.
and they have here and there, but it's just like, oh man,
But
so
tell
much
me,
fun.
Rest assured,
Add so much variety to the
the
character.
future that Tsaritsa desires, the future the people of Snezhnaya desire, it
Mhm.
will be had.
And I do like that it kind of begins and caps itself off with the letter aspect, right? And the cut from Dragon Spine to Leeway. Yeah, following the snowflake turning into a leaf. Yeah, okay. Also up there, I would say A in visuals. Just a very enjoyable, like a great start and a few really fun moments in there. Yeah, you just get like a solid like 30 seconds of like custom animation stuff going on. And then you got some great, yeah, like fighting the guards within there. Some great moments, right? Using his constellation, the narwhal, yeah. So I'll definitely say that. Then his
You were
music.
smart. You wouldn't charge into unknown danger. It'll be an easy thing.
Yeah, the male choir's fun. I'll say low A for audio, and then story. I really like how it's a self-contained cap between, based on the letter he's sending. I'm gonna say high B. Like, it would be a high B or a low A. I'll see how I feel, and I'll adjust like the tier list as we go, as we get into other parts with all these characters. So don't worry if someone's maybe one row away, because it might get moved around a bit. Jinyan. Oh boy. She has such a fun design. Just never use her, unfortunately. I definitely should, though. Yeah, some fun transitions there. Moving around the area. Pokemon.
Almost about to go live over here. You coming?
I think this is also the first one where either of the MCs appear in another character's demo. Yeah, that moment.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm on fire lately. Look out for my next performance.
Jinyan. I think Jinyan is the best of the 4 stars that we've gotten so far.
Name and rock and roll's the game.
Yeah. I think... Ah, man. Well, is better than Fischl? Not better than Fischl, I would say. Just below Fischl in visuals. Because there's still not a ton of, like, custom animation, but they did some fun things with the cuts. Yeah, they did some fun things in here. I don't think fully overcome what the treatment Fischl got, but it's still stuff in there which is, like, enjoyable and makes it stand out. Like, even this moment, right? It's like, yeah, that's just... it's fun to have that in there. Music, I would also say memorable, right? Like, definitely above Diona. Now that I'm thinking about it, because, I was like, okay, Diona it's a little bit different, so. And hearing that. No, we'll keep it there for the moment. Like, low, again, just move it down. As we add more into that tier. See, and then story. I think this is where it still just falls flat. I think the visuals and the audio is much better. But the story, there's just, again, not much that they're telling us there. It's like, okay, she's a rocker. Neat. But here we get into some peak, I fear.
With ancient Liyue, beset by an ocean demon and a mountain dragon. Rex Lapis mustered his adepti to restore peace.
Just blowing the steam, yeah.
They say that before he set out, he spoke these words.
And the song, yeah. Right, and there's just some additional small things they do as well, which is just like, it feels so good. And the moments, like, yeah, come on. Look at that. Oh, man. And even the color change there, right? Like, filtering.
This is an age of gods and monsters. I wish not for dominion. Yet I cannot watch the common folk suffer.
Yep, just listen to that music. And the ink effects, yeah. Splashes.
I will have order.
Timed with the drop, with the bass going in. It was so nice. It just makes me so happy to look back on it. Boom.
To cleanse the land.
Still so
and
good.
defend our safe harbor. That was the first contract in Liyue. And now, the final contract too has been set in stone.
I mean, you know where this is going to go. With all these moments in here. Yeah, the outline. Ah, man. It's just... like, they do so much fun stuff in here. Like, I truly feel like this is one of their big experiments of, like, how much can we fit into a character demo, right? How many effects, how many edits, splashes in there. It's just, oh man. And the timing with the music as well. Yeah, I fear this is our first S. S in visuals. Just, it stands out so much. And I would argue the same for audio. The track is so good and it matches so well with what you're seeing. I think the only place where it doesn't do that well is story. Like, you get a little bit in there, but I'm gonna put it low B for me. That is the only place it falls short as far as visuals and audio. Out of what we've seen, it's the best of the night. And it's gonna stay up there throughout our journey going through these. I think it will always stay an S for these two. Now it might go a little bit lower, right? There might be some that surpass it in the future. But I think this is the standard that was set. Like, Zhongli became the bar that every other demo, 5-star demo, had to hit. And next up, we have Obedo, who I also love a lot.
This is Timaeus' newest design.
And we'll be getting more of him very soon.
A commendable achievement.
Aw,
20
Jack.
more years.
Let's clean
And
himself up.
perhaps we can let him make a start on the textbook Sucrose uses today.
That little, yeah, the effects just as they go, like after his title card and stuff. It's little things. Sometimes quite subtle, but I like it. Showing off his elevator. Man, they just need to make geo constructs like not break. That would be great. Could finally take my Obedo out of retirement. Which I will next patch anyway. Play through the story with him. Going to all these different
The
animals.
universe. The sable essence of the starry void. Earth. The accumulative memory of time and being.
Ah, man.
Soil. The origin of alchemy. The basis of all life. Shock. The substance from which primal life is molded.
I'm getting chills. It's just like, we're going back to Mondstadt soon. We're seeing Obedo soon. I'm just getting this feeling again. I'm like, oh man.
No,
I'm so excited. Like, it's just compounded together.
Crucible. Perhaps we can let him.
Yeah, the letterbox movie. Ah, what would I say for this one? I think visually, high A. I think this is a very good one. It's just so tough to follow up jointly. But like I was saying, I like some of these effects quite a bit, and there is some custom stuff, like I was saying, here as well, which I quite like. But yeah, like this effect here, that's so much fun. It's almost feeling like he's being teleported into the setting, and then everything fades in and becomes colored and comes into focus, and it's like, that's neat. I really do like that. Music. I think above Child for me. Also up there in A. And then story. It doesn't tell you much, but what it does tell you for the story is very interesting. Hearing about alchemy, getting these little hints and those pauses, you really start to go like, what is going on with this guy? You become very curious. So because of that, A. A first A for story tonight. And then next up, we have everyone's hotfix the night before release character, Ganyu. Man, some people probably don't even know what I'm talking about there. Basically, right before her release, like the day before, night before, they just decided, you know what, Ganyu, you're gonna be the most busted character for a while.
So called because of its high sugar content. As a food, it's not the healthiest
Just
option.
compared to every other
Feasting my
character,
eyes on it
her
works
multipliers are
wonders for my
crazy,
mood.
her ultimate at 100% uptime. It was just like,
So, I cannot
people are going, dead account if you don't pull for Ganyu. Cheating, yeah.
Born of ice and frost.
This is always a cute moment here.
Please don't touch my horns.
Oh, careful. Don't sleep by monsters.
Yeah, she's like, I'm having a dream of being attacked by monsters.
So I was asleep?
Yeah. Then wakes up and is like,
It was
okay,
just
actually deal with them.
a dream.
It's Chi-Chi though. But I guess since they don't show Chi-Chi up and out, she just watches.
It's over.
Interesting mix of like fast and slow in Ganyu's track. And then this little moment here, of course. Wait, did that just come up? Well, I guess we'll be checking that out eventually. Yeah, Scaffiers. Yep, I know that feeling, Ganyu. Yep, definitely have had that happen before.
Sweet flower. Born of ice and frost.
Just trying to listen to the track a little bit more. I think it is cool. I think compared to the two we just got, even some others. This is also a great one. Right. Yeah. I will put low A for Ganyu for visuals. There's a few edits, there's a few visuals I really like, but it isn't as standout as the rest. Music. I would say in the B range. I think I'll put it in there. And then story. I think you get more about the character than you do the world or story. But since you do get a little bit more, I'll put at a low B, I believe. Yeah. Like around, I think, Zhongli's level. Because you do at least get a little bit of like her personality in there, the moment at the end where they're falling to sleep. Okay. Still got a few to go. We're going to Eula tonight, is what I had roughly planned out for how many I wanted to do. So next up, our favorite short, edgy boy, Zhao. Already a good start.
These are matters for a dip dive. Stay out of my way.
I do like how that timed up with the music, the dashes, dodging missiles. Yep, using some new effects. Build the horror vibes there.
Eons of slaughter. Ephemeral circumstance. Perpetual agony. This is nothing new to me.
Another great visual.
Karmic binds. Disperse.
I'm using that domain as well. Yeah. I'm gonna surprise some people with where I rank some stuff here. Even the eye movements at the end. It's really subtle, but I really like that.
Ephemeral This is nothing new to
I'm trying to think. Visuals. I think they did a really good job on visuals with Zhao's demo. I think you can see they're experimenting with some new filters and also some new effects. I think those are both, and even these moments here, right, of just the character with the black background. Yeah, and switching of, well, just yeah, with the black background. And switching like colors, right? Like those flashes of red. Yeah. And look at that great contrast. Let's see, where's some of these? Yeah, and like the screen glitching effects as well, the fuzziness. Or screen tear. It's like that stuff's really fun. Of course, here, yeah, I think Zhao deserves an S. Soundtrack. I think up here as well. A rank. Like very memorable. And I love the different vibes we get in there. Like horror, like build up of tension at certain points. Story. I think he has some fun character story stuff in there, but I also believe it's mostly like implied. So I'll say, I'll say low B, like around there. think it has some fun implications there, so I'll put him a little higher. But yeah, yeah. Another character that way back when I had been quite tempted to get. Just because I was like, the only thing I wasn't sure about was like, how much will I be using his jumping gameplay? But it's still one of those more unique styles of like, okay, still separates him from the crowd.
Sure we're going the right way? Doubt there's any treasure in this creepy place.
This treasure map.
Well, and then at that point, I was like, do I even have a good healer for Zhao?
Hey, wait. Did you just
Hu Tao
something?
got her on a first rerun. Or, not even rerun. First run. I was very happy about it.
Quick, do something!
Order of duality, impermanence of fate.
I think you already know what I'm gonna rate Hu Tao in.
Yeah, so many droll people.
Even the effects there, like the heat waves.
Guess I'll need to send you off myself. Zombie, are you scared?
So much fun. Just makes you want to laugh and smile.
See you on the other side.
How they did not wait to release her on Halloween is crazy. Hu Tao is just, it's so good. This slow intro, mischievous nature, the edits, farewell, ouch, goodbye, right? It's so good. Even her song. Chi-Chi getting a guest appearance. Ah, man, where... Personal feelings. I love Hu Tao's demo. I think it is so much fun. The effects at the end here, I think they do a really good job of... Oh man, it's up there. It's up there with Zhongli's. I think with Hu Tao's, they do such a good job of showing, like, just from the music, the visuals, the animations, the edits, everything gets you to understand how mischievous this character is. Like the nature of Hu Tao. And obviously we know Hu Tao can be serious. You even kind of have this here, right, where she's doing like a ritual, a funeral of some sort. And she obviously dislikes being interrupted. But man. Where do I put it? Because I'm thinking about the others. I think with how well they let you know the nature of the character, IB. I don't think I can justify A rank right now, but I think IB. Just so much fun. We already checked out Venti's, so we'll be going to Rosaria next. Never forgive them for the nerf chat. I don't know why Opera has been, or YouTube on Opera has been very strange. There we go.
Me? I'm just another ordinary person. Church,
Remember what they took from us, chat.
Each of the sisters
They used to be so big
if it's not about
and
prayer,
bountiful.
then it's about choir or some other thing I'm supposed to participate in.
They
I'm trying to
reduced
stay
them.
out of sight. Pray, not for the gods nor the betterment of
Because it
others,
was the
but for
Dragon
yourself.
Spine event or mission before her release. I used to be a role model, and then they're like, They're too big. Too much clipping.
Punishment. Shiver.
Everything is negotiable, except overtime.
What do we say about Rosaria? Favorite of vampire? None. They have some fun camera work, but they just don't do much with the effects. Like, you have some little moments like here. And even, casting a role. Yeah, most replayed, of course. Of course it is. Visuals. I think it has fun camera work, but not much else. I think I have to. Because obviously, I think they have improved their general process at this point. I'm just debating now where do I want on the list. I'll say there. I changed my mind. A little bit higher up, like a B. Audio.
Me? To do. I'm trying to stay out of sight.
I do like some of the changes and evolution of the music as we go. I'm going to say... Also B. I think that's quite fitting. And then for story, I think they do a good job of, this time, telling you more about her character. And showing Hu Tao, I think, was just great at showing you. But I think as far as telling, you definitely get the vibe of her character. And I really love the line. What was it? Pray not to the gods or for others, but for yourself. Right. I think it does a very good job of getting the character across. I think it does better than some of these others here. So let's say C. Yeah. And then Yanfei. Yanfei, you really need to help us out of this pickle. The law is after us again.
My name is Yanfei, top legal expert in Liyue.
Yanfei, sorry.
No one else comes close. I'm fully
Sorry, some fun little edits there.
I'll remind you again. The law can be both a help and a hindrance.
Again, already, it's just like, I feel they did so much more
Only
here
by adhering to the law
than
can people solve
Rosaria's.
life's myriad of problems.
And even there, fun little camera movements.
Incinerate!
All around the timing, yeah.
Time for your arraignment!
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is, you can always rely on me.
I really like how it starts. I think the edits here. Yeah, like this. I think that's very fun. And you still have like, oh, these are frozen, but you still have movement on the right side. And Chi-Chi running by. Right, and then here again. I think that's just some really fun stuff going on there. Of course, the little, thinking. Another fun camera movement there. The music. It's one of the better 4 stars we've seen so far. Visuals. like the edits. I'm gonna put behind official in B for visuals. For audio, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite. It was still a custom track for her, so I'll put low B. And then story. We get, obviously, top legal expert, right? And her thoughts on the law, but we don't get a huge amount more than that. I think she's very similar level to Mona. Like, yeah. I think like a low C time battling with Mona. Her story. And then we get the character I pulled to support Hoyo in their evolution of their character
Dance of
models.
Sacrifice, Act
Adding
3.
skin
Flickering
dentation. I mean, even with that opening segment, which is beautiful, right? Oh man, this is making me so excited. I'm so happy we're going back to Mondstadt. Meeting all our old friends.
This was once part of a ceremony for aristocrats to show off their stature. Now it's just a private pastime.
Yeah, and the dance moves is leading in to the sword moves. Oh man, I love that.
Will be mine. As a descendant of a fallen ancestry, I alone must break free from the chains of revenge.
Yeah, that's so fun. It's so satisfying to see. Even there is like, she was superimposed. There's a larger her on the background. Very subtle, but.
Rack and ruin. Are you here to spy on me?
Hey, Amber.
No, I was just worried you might be in trouble. Not yet. It takes two to tango, shall we? Huh?
The eyebrow movements. I'm trying to think. How do I want to? I think visually, I really like that they did something different. I love having the dance choreography in there. I think S2. I think it's up there. It's just, it's so satisfying having those dance movements. And again, it's something different. They haven't, really done dance before. And they did it quite well for a first attempt for Genshin, right? And yeah, the spotlight effects, everything. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I love Yula. She's great. Vengeance. Been so long since I've done her character quest, man. Character story. Audio.
As a descendant of a fallen ancestry, I alone must break free from the chains of revenge. Are you
It's a great mix. It's a really fun mix. Is it S or high A? I'm personally feeling high A. I think it's very, very fun. And different from what we've gone before. And then story. There was a little bit in there. You could discern. Obviously, her nature as a dancer is pretty obvious. But yeah, a little bit about like the fallen ancestry, some stuff there. I think there's enough where, oh man, I still just, oh man, I love Albedos. The interest you gain from watching Albedo's is unrivaled so far. There will definitely be some future ones that do some very good things, but we haven't gone to those quite yet. Ah, man, where do I want you to be? I think I'm happy putting her B. I think you definitely get a little bit more about her than you do Ganyu, but you don't get as much as the others. Yeah. And the little Eula Amber moment at the end is cute, of course. And that's where we will be ending off our very first one of these videos. So this is what the tier lists look at the end of part 1, where they are currently, again, subject to change in the future. As we do more, may readjust, move some characters up or down a little bit. As far as like within the rows, I'm kind of doing that, but I'm more worried. Like I'm more like who's top or bottom of the tiers, more than like specifically getting super detailed with like, oh, you were slightly better, you were slightly worse. It's like, no, just kind of the vibe, right? So again, this first tab is visuals, second is audio, and third is story. So that could be the character story, the world, right? Or even like I was saying with Albedo, intrigue and curiosity being built. Like how well did they draw you in? So you're on the character, or even just the area they're in, or something similar to that idea, right? It's a little more vague than the others. That's why it's been so hard to like give characters high score, or even to rank them sometimes. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed your time hanging out with me doing this. I'll be doing more of these in the future. I'm quite excited to get there and do the rest, because there's so many amazing ones, right? Like, and we're just getting started. So I think this will be something that I do on like a weekly basis. I'll do one of these. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed, want to see more, and how your rankings would be switched up. Are there any major changes you guys would make in visuals, audio, or story? Any you heavily agree or disagree with? Again, feel free to let me know in the comments. And like or dislike as well. Do whatever you want there. And subscribe if you want to see more gacha content or variety gaming content in the future. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys have a great day, night, whatever time it is for you. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. See ya. Love you all. Whew. Nice. Now I get to take a small break before I jump into the next stream. If you guys want to check that out, I'll be some wuthering. Be continuing the main story. Been checking it out, been enjoying it quite a bit. And of course later this week, you guys will be getting the new Genshin story. So excited to check that out. Feel free to come on by. I think we'll be doing that Thursday. Make sure you guys have some time to get through it first. And anyway, goodbye for real. See ya.